So with that, let's make a start. Our agenda for today, the welcome we just did. My name is Tamás, I'm from KYBERX. I have with me Christopher from Nimblr, who will be showing us the platform later on in a platform walkthrough. I will very briefly introduce KYBERX to you, and then we jump into the teaching points about the free cyber habits that your teams can start using today. Then I will hand over to Christopher, as I mentioned, for a platform walkthrough, and we'll do a live Q&A, share the free resource, and close the meeting. Hope that works for everyone, so let's jump in. At KYBERX, we help Baltic businesses build cyber smart teams and automate compliance using proven platforms and practical support. Our services essentially are broken into three tiers. Tier number one is awareness, where we can deliver a fully managed awareness program. Our chosen platform for that is Nimblr. But for those organizations who already have an existing program in place, including a platform that they are more or less happy with and perhaps just need some guidance and assistance to make it more effective as it's working, for those we offer free additional services. The pulse check is a status check, essentially at a point in time where we go in with various checklists to identify what's actually implemented, how effective those are. We conduct some selected limited interviews with staff from different departments to understand their point of view, the people who are actually receiving the training, how they see it. And we provide a report as to where the awareness program is, where the gaps potentially are, what's working well, where there is a room for improvement, and then the steps to actually improve upon those. And then if needed, it's completely down to the business. They can request a course correct add-on, which is 2 to 3 months. Again, customer's choice. Guidance, so we stay with the business for 2 to 3 months to implement those changes that should improve the existing awareness program in place. And then the culture sync is the third piece to that, where we look at the various policies and guidelines that they have implemented and try to tie those properly to the ways of working within the organization and to the actual behavior. On top of that, we have service tier 2 for compliance, where we automate the processes using various platforms and pre-built frameworks and workflows. And then when you combine both of these together and add the cybersecurity strategy and leadership on top, that's where the advantage package comes to play. But that is about it for KYBERX. So the free cyber habits that will hopefully start shifting risks in your organization from today. Habit 1. I won't read the whole thing. If you wish, you can take a screenshot if you want to take it away. Habit 1, post, check, verify. This is probably not new to most of you. It is a 3-step process or habit that we give to the employees at various organizations to give them a chance to slow down when something is happening, when they receive any form of communication, and react not from the space of urgency and stress, but from careful consideration. How they do that? They pause. So they look at it again, they process the information that's received. The check part, we will drive this home properly with the next habit, but the usual suspects you can imagine for the checks. where it came from. Does the name actually match what the underlying email address, if we're talking about email? The subject line, the body of the communication, essentially is the text. Is it too pushy, too casual, too professional? Is it sort of out of place? And we are looking here for people to start developing these. I have an off feeling about this. Something is just out of character. And that's what the check part is about. And if they have successfully at least identified one piece, like I never expected this attachment or this email, could be another thing that they might discover, or the link when they hover over it, or on the mobile it's a long press, they identify it, it looks dodgy, it looks bad, then they should verify. The simplest way is to, of course, ask someone nearby or via trusted channels. So if it is at workplace, there are various ways to get in touch with people. If it is in a personal life, like a bank someone is trying to impersonate your bank, then of course open a web browser and go and find the website manually, never copy and paste from the message itself, and then get in touch with the bank that way. And we have a bonus technique here, which we very much like. So sometimes there is just this last split-second gut feeling that people have. Okay, I'm in the process of now clicking, but I haven't hopefully released the click yet. And a lot of people don't know this. Technical people normally do, but non-technical people often don't know this. As long as they haven't released that click yet, so they haven't lifted up their finger either from the mouse or mousepad or the mobile device, what they can do is that they can drag their cursor somewhere to a safe place where there is no longer a link, and then release that, and nothing will happen. And this can potentially save a breach from happening or prevent it. And we call it the drag to nowhere. I know it's sort of an out there kind of name, but that's the whole point, to do things differently. Because, and you will see with the next one also, we believe that we need to meet people with the user awareness training where they are. So if they are not in cybersecurity or IT, we need to talk to their language. We need to make them interested. And sometimes an interesting way of calling things and differently from the rest of the industry can help with that. This is just a flashcard version of the same thing. So people can essentially print it out, even a very small, tiny version, put it in the back pocket, and then they can keep referring to it until this is sort of a second nature. The next habit, and I try to keep to the time, Christopher. I know you have a lot to cover too. Habit 2 is sender, subject, link, and tone. Now, the naming of this is inspired by the children's song Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. If you have children in your family or in your direct relationships, and you spend time with them, you probably would have heard that song one way or another. I am pretty certain there is a Latvian version also that exists. I won't sing, you really don't want me to sing, but the idea here is that if people know or discover the song, they can sort of sing it mentally in their head. So the rhythm goes like sender, subject, link, and tone, just like the song, but I won't sing. And what this is about the check piece from the previous habit we talked about. So now this really breaks down to a 4-step mental checklist, if you like to call it that, where systematically we try to look for, again, this off feeling, something is out of character. Sender is the most obvious, or the person who contacts you, so that could be a phone number or someone who calling you, the caller. Email addresses, things like that. And are the email domains out of place, the name not matching the email, so on and so on. with the subject line and any attachment. The most obvious question to ask, was I expecting this? I know I mentioned that before, but that's really often enough to see that something is not right. And of course, the tone. Sorry, I skipped the link. So there is link, of course, that's possible in any messages. So we do the same checks, hover over or long press on a mobile, and then essentially look for any strangeness with the link itself. And then the tone is the last piece. So that's across the whole messaging. Is it trying to be too pushy? Again, too casual, too professional, as I mentioned before. Something is just not right there. It doesn't make sense. And if this is done long enough and consistently enough, then people can turn this into a really repeatable reflex, as you can see it on the screen. And that's what we are after. Now you have the flashcard version as well. If you're taking screenshot, I will leave this on just for a second. And the last habit is don't just delete, report, but everywhere. And everywhere is the keyword here. It's another belief of ours that in order for an awareness program to be really effective and the culture to really turn into a cyber smart culture at the workplace, we need to talk to people about what's already important to them. Yes, of course, their jobs are very important, but what happens is if you start there, when they leave the workplace, they leave often the work habits at the workplace. As opposed to if you talk to how they keep themselves, their homes, their families, children, parents, spouses safe in the cyber world, then they start developing very good habits at home. And when they come to work, they bring it with them. And we believe this is a much more effective way of reaching the goal from an organizational point of view. And now, reporting is, of course, a NIS2 requirement. So incident reporting and response are both requirements by NIS2 and therefore by NKDR2 in Latvia. Of course, you cannot respond to something you don't see. So that's why this part is very important. So at the workplace, you already would have, most of the places have a way to report various suspicious activities and also even directly to the IT and security teams. Another important part here is to celebrate all the reports, even the false positive ones. And that just really lets people's guard down. Now they really feel safe to get involved. And then in the personal life, we encourage people to report on the various platforms they use, whether those are email platforms or social media or anything else. And often they would find something that could affect a lot of people, and then upstream reporting to their ISPs or the internet service providers, or even directly to the national CERT is very important. And then in the family, yeah, we're not necessarily expecting reporting in the family, but for cyber threats and cyber safety to become an everyday conversation, for it to be normalized to ask from there and all the way to the workplace, to ask if someone feels something is not right, and to talk about what may be happening out there. And yes, it will eventually turn into a shared responsibility model across the board. So that's the idea here. And the flashcard for those who are taking screenshots. And I know we are going fast, but we didn't want to take up too much of your time from your busy schedules, and Latvian summer is here. So we want to make sure that in these 30 minutes, we give you as much value as possible, and then we let you go back to the rest of your schedule. So, Christopher, it's over to you.
Yes, hello everybody, and thank you, Tomas, for a very nice bunch of guidelines. this aligns a lot with what we do at Nimblr, obviously. So happy to introduce our platform to you today. I'm not going to use slides. I'm going to jump straight into the platform. So if you don't know Nimblr, we are a Nordic company, fast expanding to all of Europe. So I'm in Denmark, headquarters in Sweden, and we have offices in Norway, Finland, Portugal. The Baltics is the region we focus a lot on these days. So I'm very happy to be here. My role is to work with partnerships, much like the one we have here with KYBERX. And else, I just want to say that what Nimblr offers is an ongoing service to help lift the awareness in your companies, and retain users in the program. So it's like a firewall or other security service is something you keep running to make sure people keep on being on their toes, but also to document that you're actually lifting awareness and doing training in your companies. What we want to focus on is to make it as easy to use as possible, to have very strong content and always updated, and of course to have a form that lifts people as much as possible. So let's just jump into the platform, and you can see my screen now. Yeah, I can't see people.
It's loading. Yes, we can. I can.
Okay, perfect. So now I'm logging into the platform, a demo account. And the platform has three purposes: to set up and operate the profile, the company, to look at data, and to look at content. Let's start looking at the content. So concretely, what Nimblr service delivers is micro courses, 5 minutes. People get it in their inbox, and there is approximately once a month coming in a course. And then we have simulated phishing attacks, approximately 2 times a month. This is data-based and based on our knowledge on how to move people as much as possible. So it's very fine-tuned for optimizing the learning. And we have a lot of topics that are always being updated, and the same with the simulations. So I'm just quickly going to scroll through some of the courses. I'm happy to share this afterwards, and Tamas and or me can show you more in detail if you like. But we have courses on NIS2, DORA, physical security, zero fraud, Wi-Fi security, ransomware, you name it, GDPR. But let's have a look at one of the courses. So let's take, Latvian. We of course support the languages, and this is a flow that really makes leaves it to the user to have the optimized speed and to be able to go back and read again. This course is about links and domains, so everybody knows these. Not everybody knows what all the elements in a link means and how they can be changed so they don't lead to what's they appear to be. So here comes one of the interactive parts. I just was taught something, but I can't move on until I click the protocol, and there it was. And I'm going to move fast, apologies, but here you have to click the save where the information is sent securely. Why is this link not securely? It didn't have the S. So even experienced IT users alongside new IT users or weak, so to say, can learn something here. Again, now there is the www, there we go. No, it had a -1 and it had a 1. So if you forgot or you didn't know, you could do that and then help people understand. So this is how the courses look. I'm going to jump out of the platform into my inbox, and here I have saved a few of the simulations we have. We have some general for everybody in Europe, so to say, but we also have local or national ones for Latvia and the Baltics and wherever. So we constantly add new attacks as they arise. So let's have a look. very quickly. This is in Danish, but it's a CEO fraud. It says he needs some help. Click this link. Maybe I could use some of Thomas's tricks. You can also see standard like Microsoft, your mailbox is being deactivated. I don't have any Latvian prepared. That's not ideal, but this is a Danish one and mobile pay. So I have to pay something or somebody owes me some money so I can click. But let's have a look what happens when you do click. Because this is a LinkedIn campaign and I'm curious who's looking at my profile. And then I'm just gonna switch to Latvian. We enter what's called instant learning, because now I'm very open to knowing what I did wrong. I'm told this was a bad link. Unfortunately, it's a test. So what happens here? I can click and get a short introduction to what I could have been noticing in this particular email and get a shortcut to one of the courses. So it's an automated platform. You don't have to take care of acting in the first step when people click. You don't have to set up campaigns or choose what courses. You trust that our data and knowledge helps you. But if some people do something, it adapts to your situation. And then you get a shortcut to a course, as I said, on top of your flow. The last thing I want to say about the content is that there's also 0-day classes, meaning if something very urgent comes up, we create a course and simulations, put it on top of the flow. So that's content. If there are questions, Thomas, please shout because I can't see. But we also have the Q&A and I'm going to move fast, really fast. The awareness level, there's some math behind this, but it's based on clicks and completed courses. You want this as high as possible. We bring down, based on our data, click rate from 18% to 2% clicks on bad links in 5 months. But else on the dashboard, you can have an overview of everything that's being sent and clicked, courses sent and completed. You can see your users are in 4 groups here. 4 users are in the low category. Maybe you want to do something about that. If you want more details on the data, you can click on users, see their awareness score and why it is like it is. What did they click? What did they complete of courses and so on? And maybe take action on that. You can, of course, see on simulation level that the click rate over time should go down. Also on group level, I'm going to go into groups. And on simulation level, so which simulations are being clicked more or less. You can also see it on courses. What courses have we completed to a higher and lesser degree? And every month there is an auto-generated report that shows you this data, and you can use that as an executive summary or as documentation in compliance. I'm going to go quickly over settings, but there are some general settings and some group settings. And a company can have one group, but if you have different settings for different groups, different departments, different languages, different whatever, this is where you also adapt it very much. So very quickly, here you can set the name and the contact and the address of the company or the department, the language and the country and opening hours, so that the simulations are following a flow that follows your company and opening hours, language, and so on. Ghost centers. So I showed you an example of a CEO fraud mail, but you can also enter details on tech support, customer, supplier, HR. So mails will come from them and be referred to in the mails with their credentials. You can customize what type of technology you use, mobiles, systems, antivirus, email server, security, and so on, so that the content is customized to you. And you can also customize for the courses, not the simulations, but for the courses, contact persons. So for example, a DPO or a security incident contact. So it will refer to somebody concrete in your organization. This lifts the quality of the content a lot. So for the very quick run through, I think this is what I want to show you, and then rather ask questions. Answer questions, sorry. So anybody?
I haven't seen a question yet, so in the meantime, I will share quickly the bonus that we have been promising to people. So that's now in the chat. I will quickly show you what it is, so you know it is safe to open. It is essentially a cyber awareness checklist that you can take away, and again we follow the same philosophy. We start with the human, the personal, if you like, then the home habits, and then drive it into the workplace. So you can just use this very quickly to either print it out or some other way for your employees to give you an idea of where your awareness program is. So we thought this would be very useful to you. There is a Latvian version of the page on page 2. So there is English and Latvian, depending on which one you wish to use.
And if I can add, just to reiterate, everything you say, Tamas, is so well aligned with what we put in the content and our philosophy in Nimblr, and the services you provide are coexisting so very well, or sort of integrating so well with the Nimblr service. So Nimblr offers you something that's very easy to use and very high effect. Keeps users on board and helps you with compliance, and of course securing that you are less vulnerable. So I think there is it's a very good connection we have here.
Yes, thank you. I still don't see questions just yet, but I am putting the contacts also on the screen. The QR code takes you to our website where you can submit your questions, or you can just send us an email. We're happy to answer these questions offline, whichever question you may have. I think, yes, it's important to reiterate how quick the platform deploys and simple, as you already showed. And also the support for the Baltic languages. I think that's in our region very important. And yeah, so feel free, please, to book a consultation with us. We are coming to the end of those 30 minutes. Yeah, I just want to give you back this beautiful sunny day. I know we have been waiting in Latvia a long time. And yes, I really appreciate everyone's time. Again, please book a meeting with us. It's free of charge. We take a look at your challenges and try to help you come up with the next answers, whether those are with us or someone else. We are here to really be helpful and supportive to the community in the Baltic region.
Thank you so much, and nice to meet you. You all. Hope to meet you even more in the near future, and wishing you a great summer too.
You too, Christopher. Thank you very much also for your help. It was a great presentation.
Thanks.
So thanks all. Have a great rest of the day. See you again soon. Bye.
Bye.